You know, there's not many moments like tonight where wrestling fans can come together and feel this kind of emotion. And I'm talking about Raw. I'm talking about the Daniel Bryan segment. Maybe one of the most emotional segments there's been in recent years. And I'm gonna be honest. I didn't follow Daniel Bryan through his whole journey. I seen bits and pieces of him. I really started to um start following him. It was like 2013-ish, I believe. But it's just sad that Daniel Bryan has to go. And this is my tribute video to Daniel Bryan. And there's just a few things I want to say to Daniel Bryan. But yeah, Daniel Bryan went out there tonight. He probably didn't have no script. They probably just told him, say whatever you feel like you need to say and stuff like that. Do what you want to do. This is your time. This is your last night. So, they probably just let Daniel Bryan roll with it. And Daniel Bryan went out there, and the crowd was going crazy for Daniel Bryan as always. And you could tell Daniel Bryan was feeling it, and then Daniel Bryan started talking, and Daniel Bryan was trying to be very optimistic about it, and he was trying to not be so down on himself, which is one reason I like Daniel Bryan. Um, Sorry, I'm still a little emotional and a little caught up by the whole thing. And I apologize. I might take a pause a couple times because, like, the whole Raw, I was just, getting upset a little bit, and you could just feel like, oh man, this is actually real, and this is Daniel Bryan's last night, because they were just showing highlights from his career, and it just sucks. But yes, Daniel Bryan giving a speech, and Daniel Bryan was thanking everyone, saying he was grateful, saying how he had met how saying how he met amazing people and stuff like that. And he's thankful for everything that he's gotten and everything that he is, and he's grateful for everyone, because if it wasn't, Daniel Bryan said that if it wasn't for us fans, he wouldn't be where he is now, which is true. We are the reason that Daniel Bryan is where he is, and he is grateful for that. And I respect Daniel Bryan so much for saying that. And whether you're a fan of Daniel Bryan or not, you have to respect Daniel Bryan. You have to at least feel some emotion, you know. And you could tell that Daniel Bryan was getting caught up in the moment. Especially when he started talking about his dad. And I can understand getting emotional about that. It's never easy when a family member passes away, and you know, Daniel Bryan was talking about how he got to have a special moment with his dad on this one Raw or whatever he was talking about, and that's nice. And the crowd was getting upset. There were people bawling their eyes out in the crowd when Daniel Bryan said that his brain wasn't as safe as he thought it was. He thought he could come back and compete, but you know, there's just certain things, I guess, that the other doctors didn't see, and there could actually be a serious problem. And I'm just glad Daniel Bryan went out like this instead of going out with a tragedy like getting hurt or possibly even death. I mean, because you never know what could happen to these guys. You know, and it's just kind of heartbreaking. Excuse me. It's just kind of heartbreaking to see Daniel Bryan go. And you can always look back on where Daniel Bryan was when he came in to where he is now, and you realize he's had an amazing career. You know, Nothing that Daniel Bryan has become was actually supposed to happen. It was because of us fans wanting it and wanting it and wanting it is the reason it happened. And Daniel Bryan knows that, and he said he's grateful for that, which is why I respect him, like I already said. And Daniel Bryan is definitely one of, if not the best wrestler of this generation. And, you know, I've never wanted to get emotional that much, but this is just one of those things that just really got to me. This whole episode, I was trying to enjoy this episode. I really was, but the whole time they were just showing Daniel Bryan's highlights. Dude, they were making everybody feel bad. Everybody was just like, "Oh, I remember that. Man, good memories." And they're just like, "Oh, but Daniel Bryan's retiring." It's just really sad, man. Daniel Bryan started tearing up a little bit, you know, when he started talking about the fans and everything. And you could feel for Daniel Bryan. If you didn't feel some kind of emotion in that, there's something wrong with you. I'm sorry, had to take a pause there for a second. I'm still caught up in all the emotion. It was drug out for like 30 minutes, but I didn't care. It's Daniel Bryan. It's his last night, and they just let him go. And the sad thing is just, you're never going to get to see Daniel Bryan wrestle again. Which is just really terrible. I love watching Daniel Bryan wrestle in the ring. And for all you people that hate on wrestling out there, just fuck you, okay? It's people like Daniel Bryan that are the reason why I love this sport so much. They're the reason why this is the passion. Why this is my passion. Why this is the thing I love. Is because of people like Daniel Bryan. And I respect Daniel Bryan so much for that. And it's just really, really sad to see him go. Because there'll never be another Daniel Bryan. Never, ever. There will never be anybody like Daniel Bryan, ever. Daniel Bryan is one of a kind. Once in a lifetime. And the amount of support that Daniel Bryan is getting from us fans is just insane. Just about every YouTuber I'm subscribed to is saying thanks to Daniel Bryan, and they're feeling this way too, and it's understandable because this is one of those times where we as wrestling fans can come together, and we can support Daniel Bryan. We all have to realize things. We all got to come together as a wrestling universe and support Daniel Bryan in this dark time. There's people out there that say that, oh, Daniel Bryan can still wrestle, or oh, he's fine. But, they just don't realize that, Daniel Bryan might be fine to compete, but you never know the damage it might actually do. And I would much rather have Daniel Bryan go out like this than to go out getting a serious injury or maybe even a fatal injury. And a couple YouTube videos that I watched about it, there are people commenting saying that, good, I don't want to see Daniel Bryan anymore, or I'm happy he retired, or he needs to get out, he wasn't even that good of a wrestler, or there's people that are actually wishing Daniel Bryan to get hurt. And you know what I say to those people? I say, fuck you. You're all heartless. Okay? I don't usually get emotional like this. I apologize, but it's just one of those moments that I'm never gonna forget. Like, I'm never gonna forget when I went to see Daniel Bryan live at Cavelli Center in Youngstown. Just the roar of the crowd when Daniel Bryan came out. I couldn't hear myself at all. Just yes, 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 by the tens of thousands screaming. Never in my life have I ever heard an ovation like that. And I will never ever forget that. I appreciate everything that Daniel Bryan has done for this business. He has given so much of himself and his life to this business, and I respect him for that. Man. There will never be another Daniel Bryan, no matter how hard anyone tries to be like Daniel Bryan. It just won't happen. And it's just crushing to know that we will never ever see Daniel Bryan compete in a ring again, because he's not just done with WWE, he's done with pro wrestling altogether. And me as a fan, I would have loved to see one last match, but things can't always go that way. And there's just one last thing I have to say to Daniel Bryan is thank you. Thank you for the memories. Thank you for the good times. Thank you for all those good times, because some of the times I'd be down, I'd be depressed, but then I'd watch wrestling, I'd watch people like Daniel Bryan, and it would cheer me up. To know that no matter who you are, you could succeed. And that's what Daniel Bryan stood for. And I appreciate that. And I just have to say thank you, Daniel Bryan. You will be missed, and you will never ever be replaced. And the Yes Movement will live on forever. Thank you for all the great matches and moments and the memories. And thank you for one hell of a roller coaster ride of a career. Thank you, Daniel Bryan. Thank you.